everybody, welcome to our second video of the 2015 season. Sorry we had to skip a week. We're going to try to do better with that. We've been just been so busy. We've been racing so often, trying to get ready for this coming weekend, the season opener at Bowman Gray. But I got a couple races to tell you about. This is the kind of video that we like doing. I got 2 victories to tell you about, so we're pretty excited about that. But a couple weeks ago, we were at Langley Speedway for the Southern Modified, the Wellness Southern Modified Tour race. The last race at Langley, I won the race. And I think in my last video, I even told you that I got my notebook out. I set the car up just like we left the last race that we won. We got there. We had on old tires in practice. They were pretty wore out. I knew that the car would be close. When I went out for practice, I only ran a handful of laps in the car. You know, when you don't put new tires on, of course, you're not going to be up high on the practice sheet normally. We went out, and about 20 minutes of practice went by, and we were still about 4th or 5th on the time sheet. So I was really excited about that, the fact that the car was driving good, the tire temperature stagger, everything looked good, but the fact that we were still, you know, somewhat to the top, close to the top of the time sheet, made me feel a little bit better about where we were with it. Like I said, we didn't change very much. Qualifying, it hurt us just a little bit because we didn't put new tires on in practice. Whenever you put new tires on in practice, you make what you call a mock run or a qualifying run, and it gives you an idea of how much stagger that you need to put in your car to qualify. When you put, you know, you got to think about it. You got a 15-inch tire that's brand new. It's got twice the grip of the tire that you had on in practice. So you have to free your car up because these cars are basically driven off of the rear because they're so light, so much horsepower, that the rear tires have more effect than the front tires. With that being said, you have to open your stagger up in the rear because more stagger is looser. So we didn't know exactly how much stagger to put in the rear to qualify, and that hurt us, but we were third. I think the pole was a 92, and then second was a 95. We were a 96 or so, so we were right there with the pole speed. We got running, and the car was great. We just kind of sitting there riding just a little bit. The car wasn't, I say it was great. I mean, it was good. It was off just a little bit compared to where I thought we needed to be that early in the race. If you're real free that early in the race, that's usually not a good sign. So I was borderline free. Well, we got running, and we had a caution around that, I don't know, around low 30s maybe. And we were riding around. There was a wreck. Somebody hit the fence, and right before we went back to green, as I was cleaning up my tires, the posture of the car didn't feel right. It felt like it was kind of laying down on the right rear. And when I cleaned my tires and I gassed it, it kind of got real loose. I said, man, something doesn't feel just right. Not saying that I'm any better than anybody else, but when you've been driving these cars this long, you can tell when something's not just right. So anyway, we got going, and we came in. There was a caution right after that. I had a right rear going down, and the caution came out. We came in. That was around lap 40. So when we came in at 40, we put a right rear on. We put an emergency tire on because in my mind, I thought, well, we'll put what we call an emergency tire. It doesn't count as your change tire. We'll put it on, and then maybe later in the race, we'll catch another caution late. That'll play to our advantage. Maybe we can come in and put that tire on. Well, the way it worked out is we got running, and there was a caution around lap, I think it was at 67. Well, at that point, we only run 27 laps. So in my mind, if we come in then, basically it's a waste of time. So we stayed out. From there on, man, I mean, the car was exactly where I needed it to be. The 28 and 11, I think, were second and third at the time. And by the time they got to me, I guess they had wore their stuff out enough to where they were pretty equal to where I was at. So the car was great. I knew that at that point, we had enough car left that we could probably win the race. And what happens, the caution comes out. We had a restart with 10 to go. There was only 5 cars on the lead lap. So the 5 car was running 5th. He came in and put on the right rear, and he got, on the restart, he got right to my back bumper as we came off of 4. But he ran out of laps, and we were able to win the race. So that was back-to-back at Langley. I love that track. I love the management. There was a little kid there. I think he's 7 years old. His name was Charlie Brown. He'd been diagnosed with MS. It was terminal. And we kind of made a connection in the autograph session. And I told him, I gave him one of my T-shirts, and I told him, I said, listen, when I win this race tonight, I want you in victory lane with me to get your picture made. And man, how much more perfect could it have worked out that he came down. I was able to give him one of our victory lane hats. He got his picture made with us. So that was a special night for Charlie. I told Charlie we'd be praying for him because I know that's tough. I can't imagine how Charlie's going through it, but even worse is his parents, how they're having to deal with it. But you know, they'll stay strong, and maybe that was an uplifting moment for him and his family. But after Langley, we went to Ace last weekend. We took the same car. I went and got my notes out from Ace, the last race at Ace. We basically had the class in the field, and there was a restart at the end where I had a little bit of a little contact with somebody and then ended up running out of gas. But I knew that there was the car that could win the race. So I went and got my notes out from Ace, set it up just like we had it last time. We went back this time, went out and run, and I think at that point we were probably the fastest car on our old tires. We parked it for a little while, went back out again, parked it, went back out again, and at the end of practice, we were one of the fastest cars on probably 75 lap tires compared to some of the guys with new tires on. So I knew that we had a really good car. There's something about, you know, I don't know if it's because I got an Ace on my roof or what, but there's something about Ace Speedway that the very first time I went there, I fell in love with it, and it seems to be in love with me. So. We've always run good there. As we qualified second for the event, we weren't same situation, I guess, as Langley. We didn't put on new tires in practice, so I didn't get the car quite free enough to qualify. I think Zach was on the pole. He ran a 71, and we ran a 72, so we were right there. Got the green flag, got out front, led till I think about high 70s maybe. Caution came out. When we came in and pit, we put on right rear and we switched our left side tires. As far as I know, there was only about 6 cars on the lead lap, and I think we were the only ones to switch left side tires. So if you switch your left side tires on the couple races, they don't count caution laps. So you can take as much time as you need. And I told the guys, I said, I'm not so worried about getting out of the pits fast as much as I am making sure that the car is as good at the second half as it is in the first half. So when we came out of the pits, we were 6th. I think we were the last car on the lead lap. Like I said, that was around not quite to lap 80. I think we ended up taking the lead back around 110, maybe something like that. Maybe even lap 100. However it equates, I think we led 105 laps. I was able to pass Jason on the outside on the restart. I won, and Jason was second. So. You know, I know that on that side of the garage, they would rather it be the other way around. But as Myers Racing as a whole, as a family, we go to the racetrack looking for a 1-2, and that's what we got. So it was a really good weekend for us. The autograph session was great. You know, every time you go to these different tracks and you see the group of people that follow that track, and it may follow the modifieds, but they follow that track. So it's always nice to reconnect with some of the fans that you hadn't seen in a while, that being our first race there at Ace this year. But with all that being said, I know it's hard to tell on video, but this car behind me is the stadium car. We've put the other car, pushed it to the side just for a couple weeks, and we got the stadium car out. Basically, at this point, as you can see, it's on the scales. We're getting ready to get it all set up and weighed out and get ready for the season opener at Bowman Gray this weekend. You know, it is what it is. It's Bowman Gray Stadium. We're going to try to put all the drama behind us. We're going to go over there. We're going to do the best we can. We're going to try to win this first race. Bowman Gray is one of the few places you go to where you take it 1 week at a time. So at this point, the first race of the year is a 200 lapper, and that's what we're going to go try to win. We're going to try to set on the pole and win the race. On Friday, we have qualifying and practice. This is one of the few two-day shows we have. We have qualifying and practice on Friday. We'll come back on Saturday and race. I think the weather's looking pretty wet for Saturday, so we'll see how that goes. Mark Joyce, let me say this. I know a lot of people have been asking by text and messages on Facebook and even at the racetracks. Mark Joyce has done a super job this off-season. We have 3 different designs of T-shirts that are coming out. We should have them this weekend at Bowman Gray. Some really cool designs. We got 3 different, I'm not going to tell you much about them, but we got 3 different spins on 3 different styles of T-shirts. So hopefully everybody will enjoy what we've put together, or what Mark Joyce at MJ Graphics put together. But and Stephen for taking the pictures for us. So anyway, like I said, coming up this weekend is Bowman Gray. As always, I want to thank my sponsors: CitraSafe Cleaners, Speedway Auto Auction, Adams Towing, Remington Scent Control Technologies. They will be with us. You will not see them on the car at Bowman Gray. Basically, that's they want to feature the Coma Tour and the NASCAR Southern Modified Tour. So you will not see them at Bowman Gray, but we still have our other sponsors that have been following us. We'll have them for Bowman Gray this year. Also at Bowman Gray, we have Haviland Express Lube on Highway 66 in Kernersville. Mac Allen and those guys are back on board with us again this year. Like I mentioned earlier, Mark Joyce at MJ Graphics always does a great job for us on our T-shirts. RE Radios, just talked to Kevin this week, and RE is excited about being at Bowman Gray again this year. Brown & Miller, Pro System Brakes. John at Cleanup Supply. John is not just a sponsor. Okay, John helps us with our cleaning stuff. Me and John can come in. He comes in and we end up spending an hour talking about racing back in the day. John is an old school modified guy that we just enjoy racing with each other, bench racing with each other. So John is definitely back on board with us this year. Man, I'm excited about going to Bowman Gray for the history of it, to see the fans, to get exposure from my sponsors, and you know, it's real easy. You know, there's no secret with everything that's gone on in the past. It's really easy to get a negative attitude because of the drama that follows. Because we're racers, we love to race, but we also know that Bowman Gray is racing in this hand and entertainment in this hand. So, with that being said, hopefully we can go over there this weekend. We can race. We can win the race, and it's going to be entertaining to a lot of people. So, like I said, this weekend, coming up, come out and see us. 200 lapper, Bowman Gray Stadium. I know that most people in this area, when they say when does racing season start, they mean Bowman Gray. Well, guess what? It's here. It's this weekend. So, thanks to everybody that makes this possible. My crew, all my guys, my family. You know, there's no way I can do this on my own. I can sit here in front of this camera and do a video, and I can name off people's names. So I just want to thank everybody. Hopefully we're going to be successful at Bowman Gray. So far, so good this year. We won 3 races so far, so we're going to try to keep it going. Thank you for everything you do. Don't forget to share this video, click it, link it, do all the things that you do. Comment on it. Oh, by the way, I had, man, so many comments on the last video telling me where you're watching these from. I love to see that. It's so cool to be able to see from all across the country people watching these videos. So thanks for everything you do to everybody. Come out and see us this weekend. God bless you.